Phoenix Knight here. Welcome to the channel, and welcome to Mystical Munchies, featuring the official World of Warcraft cookbook. Last week we started with the appetizer, buzzard bites, and those turned out really good. Almost like very filling meatballs is what they were, with a savory sauce on them. This week we're going to the side, cornmeal biscuits. First up, let's tell the story. Once merely a food staple among the Tauren tribes in Mulgore, these simple little nuggets of cheesy, buttery flavor have traveled along various trade routes and are now enjoyed in many regions across Azeroth. Enjoy these delicious gems on their own, warm from the oven, alongside a steaming bowl of chili. I've got a pot of chili that's been brewing in the crock pot all day that I'm hoping to have these with, but as usual, the ingredients are waiting for us at the table, so let's head in that direction. I've got the oven preheating to 375 already, and off shot I've got a baking sheet lined with parchment paper. So for this recipe we're going to need a cup and a third of all-purpose flour, a cup of cornmeal, 2.5 teaspoons of baking powder, half a teaspoon of salt, a half a cup of salted butter. That margarine is probably unsalted, but we'll go with it anyway. Half a cup of shredded cheddar cheese, and a cup of buttermilk. With that, let's say we head into the kitchen and start putting this recipe together. You might hear the oven beep coming up to temperature. Like I said, I've got the oven preheating to 375 already. So now we're going to be in a medium bowl. We're going to start off by combining the flour. We wanted a cup and a third, right? Yes. So I'm going to use my third cup since I don't trust the 1 cup in there. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll put that down. The canister for the flour can go back up. So a cup of cornmeal. What in the world? Looked like there was like cardboard or something in there. Cup of cornmeal. Easy does it. Oh boy. Didn't realize this had, well, it's probably fine. But I think that's going to hit the bin now that I'm aware of it. 2.5 teaspoons of baking powder. Alright, 1, 2, and a half. And a half teaspoon of salt. Okay. We'll go ahead and give that a quick combination. Okay. So that's all handled. This is a kind of a weird angle coming over top of the camera, but I think we'll manage. Now that we've got that combined, now we want to rub or cut the butter in until no large chunks remain. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off like a tablespoon of the butter, then stir a little bit more and repeat that until I go through all of the butter. So we'll grab a steak knife, since that's what's closest. Probably should have let this come up to room temperature a bit, but no help for that at this point. Cut in another chunk. Work on busting that up a little bit. Cut in another chunk. Another chunk. And we'll put the last chunk in. We'll throw the wrapper away. Right. I think it's, what did we say? Half a cup of cheddar cheese. Okay. The oven just came up to temperature, in case you're wondering why I've been so quiet. I've mostly been just trying to mix this up. It's kind of hurting my hand, actually. Plus the admittedly very weird angle I'm coming at this from isn't helping me either, because I'm trying not to get, I'm going to come at it from the side. I'm trying not to get my arm too much in shot, or any more than I can avoid. Trying to see if I can break this butter up a bit more. I imagine it'll melt as we're getting into later steps of the recipe. Now that I've broken it up as much as I can, now we're going to add the shredded cheese in, and we want to toss it to distribute it evenly. So we need, what did we say, half a cup of the shredded cheese. So I've got my quarter cup over here. We'll just grab 2 of these out. 1 and 2. Okay. See if I can seal this up. I've been having problems with, there it goes. I was going to say, I've been having problems with these bags of cheese of late. But it seems like that decided it was going to cooperate. Right, then we'll grab the buttermilk. Grab a cup of that. And we'll stir until the mixture is just moistened. That's very crumbly. Where it absorbed seemed like it absorbed most of the buttermilk without much effort. I'll add a splash more. I feel like I'm expecting a smoother consistency out of this. So I'm trying to be careful that I don't add too much buttermilk to the mixture. Because I know I took liberties with the amount of... Because I know I took liberties with the amounts of some of the amounts I used in here. But... I'll add a little more. I've probably already added too much, but we'll see how this turns out. No, I think that's probably... I'm going to come back at it from this angle. That's probably about where I want it to be, so... Let me see if I can scoop a little bit of this off. I need another spoon. Come on. There we are. And that's a fork. That's still a fork. Find that component, move over one. There we go. Got a spoon. Scrape some of that back in. Mix this up a little bit more. Okay, I'll scoop that back out. And now we need the cookie sheet that we prepared earlier in shot. I've got the baking sheet right here in shot that I've lined with parchment paper. So I'm going to scoop the biscuit mix onto it, about a quarter cup of it at a time. That is a very heaping quarter cup. With leaving about 2 inches between each biscuit to accommodate spreading. My voice is getting a little hoarse. These are probably going to be bigger biscuits, but oh well. See if I can clump that a little bit more together. I think we can get one more, probably not. Maybe I can. No. Alright, we'll just do that then. Alright, so those are our biscuits. I'm going to put these in for 25 to 30 minutes. I would be stunned if that cooking time doesn't stretch though. I'm going to give my hands a quick wash. Alright, I'm going to move over to the stove for a second so we can put these in. Put these in for... The recipe says 25 to 30 minutes, but I'm going to put it on for 35 minutes. I'm going to have eyes on it basically constantly. What we're aiming for is when the tops of the biscuits are golden brown, or the time, whatever comes first. But when we come back with this, we'll show you what it looks like out of the oven, and then after that we'll move over to my desk for the taste test. These cornmeal biscuits actually look like they came out pretty good, and they're fresh out of the oven, so they're probably going to be a little bit on the warm side. No, they're not too bad. Anyway, it looks like we got a nice golden brown on the underside. So I've got one of them plated. I'll meet you guys back over at my desk for the taste test. As you can see, I've got one of the biscuits right here. Hopefully it's not going to be too hot having come fresh out of the oven, but let's give it a taste and see what I think. It's actually pretty good. You don't really taste the cheese all that much. And maybe it's a little warm, but again, coming fresh out of the oven, so we do have to keep that in mind. But, yeah, they're cornmeal biscuits. Really just kind of ordinary, I guess. But that's it for another episode of Mystical Munchies. Next week we'll be cooking the entree Crunchy Spider Surprise. Thank you for watching the video. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn on notifications so you get my content. Be well, stay safe, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and I'll be back with more videos in the future. Until then, take care everyone.